This is going to be a good position at the counter to start getting a little motion through your ankle and calf. You have the counter to support you, so it doesn't put a lot of weight on your feet. So, and everybody has a kitchen counter, very easy one to do throughout the day. So I'm going to start off at this counter height, just resting on my forearms, right? And I have my feet just a little bit away from the counter, so I feel like I have a little bit more weight on my toes right now. Now, if you watch my lower back, I'm trying to stay pretty relaxed. I don't necessarily want to be here. I don't want to be here either. So just very comfortable. And I'm going to start to just let my hips go back to rock onto my heels. If I can, I'm going to pick my toes up. And I'm going to rock back forward and come up onto my toes. Which is just a very gentle rocking motion back onto my heels, up onto my toes. Right? So this is a really good beginning motion. Not a lot of stress on anything. You're just lightly moving stuff, right? Now, the more motion that I go through, the more tension I put on myself. So, this would be phase one, just a very light rock to the heel, rock to the toe, right? Now, if that's fine, right, I can start to increase the amount of distance that I go through. So when I rock onto my heels, if I feel like this is okay, I could take my feet a little further away from the counter. And now it's going to take a little bit more motion through my back to get to my heels. And then coming forward, I'll bring my hips back underneath me to where I feel like now I have pressure on my toes, and then I'll come up onto my toes. So the further my feet are from the counter, the more motion I'm going to go through in my shoulder, the more motion I'm going to go through in my back. So just so you can see again, if I'm really close to the counter here, well, it doesn't take very much to get to my heels, and you can see my back is barely moving. So just know the closer you are to the counter, the more gentle it's going to be on everything involved. So even if you want to put a little piece of tape on the floor, or if you just want to have some kind of landmark in your tile or these lines in the carpet, start off close, make it easy rocking heel to toe. If that feels fine, you go a little further back. It's going to take a little bit more motion to get from your heel to your toe. Obviously, like I said, the further I go way back here. Well, now it's going to take my hips really going back far to get my toes off the ground. And then as I come back forward, I'm trying to think about keeping my back flat so my butt's tucked underneath me. And now I feel like the weight's on my toes. My heels are almost lifting on their own a little bit as I come up. So now I'm going through a lot more motion. But this is fine as long as I have no pain associated with it. If I have a back problem or I have a hip problem, if I go to this position too quickly, I may very likely start to cause some pain because I'm pulling at stuff a little harder. And now the further I go from this counter, I may start to, feel a little uncomfortable on my forearms. I may start to go more up onto my hands. And I'm going to run into this table a little bit here. So let's go. So now as I get further away, I may start to have my hands. Same thing, you can see my back has to go much further to get up onto my heels, and I come back forward to come up onto my toes. Notice now as I've increased this distance, as I go back, see that my lower back is not rounded, and I'm not letting my head just drop off the top of my shoulders, right? I feel like I'm trying to take my hips and just push them straight back with a flat back. Good things here would be to feel pulling in the back of my leg, the back of my calf. I don't want to feel this in the lower back, so I'm really trying to keep my lower back neutral as I use my hands to almost push my hips back towards my heels so I can get that same toes off the ground. And as I come back forward, I'm not doing this. I'm trying to keep my butt tucked under me just a little bit. And as I go from weight on my heels, I feel the weight start to get back onto my toes. And once it's on my toes, I can come up. Same concept coming forward. I just want to get to where I'm in a straight line, not to where I'm sagging. So you see a theme here where I want my back to stay pretty neutral. So, further away, more challenging, closer to the counter, a little less challenging, a little less threatening. So nice, easy progression to go through, paying attention to what you feel.